You are listening to the Free the Moms podcast, where we do just that. We free the moms. And I am especially excited for this episode because we are going to be talking to some free moms. That is like really some of my favorite podcasting to do, is to talk to my clients so that you guys can hopefully get inspired and lit up and know that you can have what they have. So before we dive into this magical conversation, I want to let you know that we are about to open doors to the Free the Moms membership, where again, we do just that. We free you from the traps of people pleasing and perfectionism and diet culture and living in a body maybe you don't love, mom guilt, all of the things. If you feel disappointed or resentful or mad or angry or anxious or trapped in your own life, this is the membership for you. So go to lauraconley.com/VIP so that you can get on the VIP text list. We're going to text you when doors open so that you can get early access. You get the founder's pricing. You get a one-on-one call with me, and you get more bonuses. So go to lauraconley.com/VIP. If you don't know how to spell my name, it's LauraConley. And we will text you when doors open so that you can get your booty in there ASAP. Okay. So, and I was just saying to my beautiful clients who are on this call with me, I was just saying the whole point, you guys, of this Free the Moms membership is so that you are 93 years old and looking back on your life with just so much fulfillment and so much love and so much gratitude, and you just feel like you did it, like you left it all out on the field. And I really truly believe that our life is made up of our days, which are made up of our mornings. So if we can get really intentional about our mornings, our days sort of start to take care of themselves and they start to unfold beautifully. And we feel like we're in charge instead of the other way around. Because I hear that from moms all the time, that they feel like something's got to give. Like, is this it? They feel like they're saying yes to everybody else and no to themselves. So we're going to specifically talk about morning magic, which is just one piece of the Free the Moms membership, which, by the way, we're starting the membership on October 6th. Doors are going to be open. It depends when you guys listen to this. Doors are going to open for the VIP list on the 23rd at 12 p.m. Pacific time. So you might be listening to this before then. So get your booty on there. And if you go to lauraconley.com/VIP, we'll let you sign up if doors are already open. So anyways, I want to talk to these women about how morning magic, how taking time for themselves, even just 5, 10, 15 minutes, has impacted them, so that you can see that this is possible for you too, that you don't have to keep putting yourself so that you can start putting your oxygen mask on, so that you can really believe that there's space for you on the list, even at the top of the list. So without further ado, I just want to introduce you guys to my dear clients who are just so lucky that I get to be in orbit with, in this life. We have Kelly and Blair and Tori here. So let's just dive in, you guys. I'll just go round robin. Tell us a little bit about who you are, where you live, and a little bit about before and after, before doing the morning magic ritual, which is our grounding ritual and our journaling ritual. By the way, you guys, if you're freaked out about journaling, I want to let you know that inside the membership, there are prompts. We're not just making you free write. So Tori, let's go to you first. Let's hear a little bit about just who you are, where you live in the world, and a little bit about what life was like before you had this practice and what life is like now after having this practice.
So I'm Tori. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I've been lucky enough to have been working with Laura for 4+ years now.
Is this your third time on the podcast?
I think it is.
That's so awesome.
I know. I was like, you know me, Laura. I'll always come and have a little chat with you. So I'm always honored to be a part of this and to help free the moms in this way. So let's see. I think before I really incorporated this piece of my practice, obviously the journaling component has been a kind of hallmark practice since working with you. It ebbs and it flows. I think the difference for me in doing this is that I felt like I had kind of very normally gotten into like a season of life or seasons of life that just took, different shapes and my kids getting older. Side note, I remember saying this like 4 years ago, like, I'm so glad to start doing this work before I had teenagers because I felt like it helped me grow and get really grounded. And then now here I am, my kids are teenagers and I'm like, okay, this has been like a reboot for me. So I think I'll lead with that's I felt like I was just kind of letting life happen. And what this particular practice has reminded me of is just when the importance of like carving out the time for myself and making it a priority. And I think that that's, you know, it's, it sounds very simple. And it sounds like kind of like a non-negotiable, but the reality is life just does start to happen. And so I think I found myself in a place of, we talked about this several weeks ago in a coaching session where I was just outsourcing all of my power and my ideas and my days to like the busyness of life. And so this practice has brought me really back to like insourcing and going back to setting myself up for the day that I want to have, not what's going to happen, but that I want to have. So I think the biggest piece of all the work that I've done with you is the mindset and really, really, really using our minds to fuel us and to power us and to really create the life that we want to have. So this is just a really small but very important practice. So
Tell me a little bit about why it's important for you. Like, what does it feel like in your body? Like, it's important because why? Like, how do you feel on a day that you've journaled or had the morning magic practice versus maybe a day that you didn't, or even a season where you weren't doing that on a regular basis?
yeah, I can speak to both of those because I I have taken breaks from time to time.
Of
And
course.
it's wild to me how really just the simplicity of the setting an intention each day can really guide the day. There are so many unknowns that come up. I feel like the timing of this too, really delving back into this practice with back to school and I have new
Mm,
schedules and I have my kids going in 1,000 different places. Like I jokingly, as I was like preparing for this, like wrote down like I've become much more patient, like with myself and with my husband. And then when I wrote that, I was like, maybe I'm just a little bit less annoyed, like, and if that
oh,
was the goal, I'm like achieving that. I'm like, I'm just a little bit like it take
yeah.
that edge off. That I'm like, okay, this is like still this big, beautiful, full schedule. I think that I always dreamed of, but it's still something to manage. And then in that
Yeah.
process, finding those like little slivers of intentionality, I feel like this practice just kind of grounded me into that. Like I look forward, I'm on the West Coast, so I'm the
Yeah.
early morning, like rolling
Yeah.
in bed right before we jump on the call. And I really have moved to a place of like really looking forward to it, uh,
Oh.
which I didn't think was possible. So
Oh, that's really cool. I love that, Tori. Okay, let's go to Blair. Now I do feel like it's a game show. Kelly was joking. It's like, okay, come on up. Okay, Blair. Tell, introduce yourself to us and tell us how you felt before and how you feel now.
Yeah, I'm Blair. I live in Seattle. I have a super demanding job that takes a ton of my energy and life, I feel like sometimes. And I have a 1-year-old little boy. So I'm going through that first year of like, how the heck do I do this? So I've been working with you, Laura, for since April this year. So now it's like, I don't know, 10 months, maybe. No, less, 5 months, 6 months. I joined the Yummy Mummy program that you had. So throughout that, I was trying to, my goal was to lose the pregnancy weight. But the thing is, I've lost like 25 pounds now. And more than that, feel like I have grown so much in other areas of my life and how I manage my relationship with my husband, with my work people. How do I carve out time for myself in this new mom
Mm,
type of life?
yeah.
And it's just been insane. But the morning magic of the Free the Moms program that we did actually unlocked something new beyond that for me.
Mm,
So one thing I was really struggling with was I felt like I'm in this like Have you gone to like a beach that has like crazy waves and you're just going back and forth, getting like washed around with the waves in your day? I
Yes.
felt like I'm getting moved around by everything happening in the day to day with
Oh,
the baby, with the job, with the plans and friends, and I just had no control.
oh,
And what the Freedom Moms morning journaling did for me is in the morning, I decide what day I want to have and what are the things I want to do and I don't want to do. And I set the intention to be present in those things I'm choosing to do and
oh,
not just getting taken away by like, I'm doing this right now, but my brain is at this other thing I'm supposed to. There is none of that anymore. I know this
mm,
is what I want to get from my day today. And these are the things that I'm going to focus on and let go of, or, I
yeah.
decide what day I want to have. And it's so cool because I'm not trying to decide a giant thing over months for my life. It's just today. But what it creates is
Mm.
like the things I want at the end. So I just think it's so cool. It's really magic because it is, like Tori was saying, it's so simple.
Yes.
And it's just the habit of being there, present with whatever I wanted to do just today. Yeah, I think
That is
that's kind
so
of
well said. That's so
it's
well
pretty
said.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, Blair. I didn't even know all that. That's so great. That's so awesome. Okay, Kelly, you're up.
All right. Hi. I'm
Welcome.
I'm Kelly. I live in Iowa and I've been working with Laura for a couple of years now. And I'm a solopreneur and freelancer in marketing and content. So I work from home and my schedule is really mine to structure, which is great, but it also makes it really easy to get distracted. So before this practice, I felt like I was spending a lot of time on things that were in front of me, but maybe not necessarily urgent or important, like housework or my inbox or the kitchen counters, like those types of things that feel like you kind of just are reacting to seeing things in front of you. And then all of a sudden it's the end of the day and you're like, I didn't get anything done. Like, or I knocked off all of these tasks, but I didn't actually focus on anything that I wanted to. So I think it's helped me prioritize what's important to me, both personally and professionally, so that I don't have that feeling of where did the day go? What happened at the end of the day? And so I think taking that time in the morning to get that 10,000-foot view of my schedule has really helped me get aligned with what I want to create within each day and also long term, and to maybe let some things go that maybe feel urgent or important or irksome, but really aren't actually that big of a deal. And I think it's also helped me be more realistic about what I can accomplish in a day and get better at being gentler with myself. There's that saying that people overestimate what they can accomplish in a day, but they underestimate what they can accomplish in a year. And this has helped me kind of find that balance so that I'm taking care of the day to day while also keeping a really sharp focus on my bigger plans and goals.
That's so good. I love hearing this, you guys. And I totally agree. Okay, so since we're like freeing the moms from the cages and the traps, what do you feel like? And this could be you reflecting over the past couple weeks that we've been doing our beta group or, in a longer period of time. But what do you feel like was your number one cage or your number one trap? And how has it shifted?
I think the thing that came up for me when thinking about that question is going back to like the mindset. And I totally agree with Kelly that I approach everything with, the things that I have to do, the things that I want to do, et cetera. And the list can feel endless. But I think the like X factor in all that is the mindset and how I'm approaching it. And so I felt like I had kind of fallen a little bit into a pattern of thinking that like life was happening to me. And
Oh,
so this practice has really shifted me back to like, this is all happening for me. Like, this is all what I've dreamed of, and this is what I've created, and this is happening for me. And how am I reframing how I'm looking at everything on my plate?
mm,
Does that make sense? So the to-do list, and I do use the time as well. to do some planning for
Yeah.
the day. So it's not
Which is great.
totally introspective, and
Yeah.
I mean, depends
I
on
do-
the
I do the
amount
same
of coffee
thing.
I've had. Yeah, it's like, am I just some mornings the things just flow, and other mornings it's like, okay, let's get organized for the day and that kind of thing. But I think it's really the reframing of the mindset to which I'm like applying that day, if that makes sense, with intentionality. So yeah, it's the shift.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's so good because it is a trap to think, and it's so normal, right? We all do it, but it is a trap to think like life is happening to me. Like we just forget like how much choice we have. So that's so well said. Kelly, what do you think?
Yeah. So my biggest cage, throughout my whole life has been perfectionism. And this process has really helped me let go some of that with regards to, what I'm spending my time on. So I used to think I can't go to the gym or to yoga until I clean up everything in my house, or I can't schedule time for X, Y, and Z until I finish this project or whatever. And it's really helped me realize, who am I doing all this for? Who actually cares? No, it's my immediate family. They're fine if everything's not perfect, right? And so it's helped me realize, what actually matters is I'm showing up the way that I want to. I'm doing things that fill me up, both personally and professionally, and just figuring out, yeah, maybe the house doesn't look good, but it's gonna be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what would you say, Kelly, to somebody who doesn't really want to let go of their perfectionism? I think a lot of women hold it maybe like a badge of honor, and I can totally see that. So if we had to give them a carrot, like let's sell them a little bit on like, and you did a great job already, but like let's sell them a little bit on like, you guys, it's going to be so great to like let go of some of your perfectionism because blah 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 blah.
I think, you literally cannot control what other people think of you. You can try really hard, but ultimately, other people's thoughts, you don't get to decide those. And so if you can free yourself up a little bit to say, I'm going to be my authentic self and I'm going to do the things that are meaningful to me and trust that the right people and the right opportunities and things are going to come into my life for the right reasons. It's really liberating. It took me almost 40 years to get to that point as like the chronic, type A perfectionist people pleaser. But it's just nice not to care sometimes.
So nice. That's so good. Oh, I love hearing this. I like feel freer for you. Okay, Blair, what do you have to say?
So my case was just like Kelly, the perfectionism. So that when you asked about the carrots, the way I realized it's like I was so stuck in it. And the thing that really clicked for me was I want all these things in my life, like being amazing at my job, being the best mom, and having all these relationships. And it's just too much all the time. And I'm just like going crazy. So what I realized is if I focus on getting all of these things, but with lower expectations. Like I expect instead of 100%, I expect 75% at each of these things. Would I still be happy? And I realized what I got was more like I wasn't overtired because I wasn't putting 100% into my job, into being a mom, into my, like I put 75% and I still got pretty good out of it. And also, it's really rare things go to 100%. So oftentimes I was just frustrated because my expectations were up here and things ended up here. So when I lowered my expectations, I was actually like much happier with everything. So that's kind of the thing I realized. And in my journal, I put like what am I gonna like lower my expectations on today? Right? Like, so I know I prepare myself that like, oh, today this thing is
Ooh.
happening. I'm gonna expect only like this much at
Mm,
it. So, right? So
that
I
is
remind
so good.
myself.
Yeah, you like decide ahead of time that you're like doing 75% instead of 100% so that when it gets to that moment, you're like, we already pre-decided we're not going to be perfect.
Right.
And I'm going to feel better and have like not be overtired and all like you start to it becomes like something that's so worth it and you start to collect all this data on like oh yeah this is better over here, this is the better way to do it. Oh, I love that. This is such a fun conversation, you guys. I love this. Okay, talk to us a little bit about what specific wins you guys have had over the past whatever amount of time. What specific wins have you guys had because of the morning magic practice inside the Free the Moms beta group? So, Kelly, what do you got?
Yeah. So I finished a project that I had been dragging my feet on for months. I finally launched my website for my business, and I had bought the template months ago, bought the URL, the domain name, and I just didn't want to get in there and do the actual setup of the website. And I finally
Mm,
said, with this process, enough's enough. And
mm.
I got it done and I got it live and I'm like thrilled with the results. And I'm like, why didn't I just do that? It's like,
It's not that hard. Okay, tell us your website in case we want to stalk you a little bit.
oh yeah, it's kellyrileycontent.com.
Go check her out, you guys. Go give her some love. And what's your Instagram for that?
Also, Kelly Riley Content.
I love it. Oh my God, it's so good. Okay, so Tori, what about you?
That is awesome, Kelly, by the way. I'm very inspired because mine was more like, I'm just like following my protocol with so much more ease. So that really speaks to, I think, how most of us found you, Laura, is like,
Yeah.
developing the protocol and developing kind of a life plan and eating plan, et cetera. And so what I alluded to is just like when I stray away from that, this simple practice reminds me that like of the choice, of the intention, of the simple practice of just like making my plan for the day and then honoring it. So when I get my brain on board first thing in the morning, which is what this practice is all about, specifically in that area, I have just found it's been much more effortless to just
Ooh.
do what I say I was going to do. So that's more of a
Yeah.
foundational thing that I think that a lot of us have learned from working with you.
But that's
Yeah.
huge. It's like because so much of it is like a remembering practice. Like it really is. Like we forget, like my brain just like forgets that we're not eating sugar on Wednesdays. And like I have to remind it on Wednesday morning. And then it remembers. It's like the weirdest thing.
It
That's
feels different when you write it down. It's like,
yeah.
okay, no, this is it. This is what I'm
Yeah.
doing. And I'm still so analog. I write, and
I love that
I
too.
tried to get on board with like the electronic journaling and I just don't do it. If I don't do it, write it down, then it's, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so
No, there's something to it. There's some, I can't like regurgitate it, but there is some science behind that. And maybe I'll do a podcast episode on that. I'm like, go research it. But I like to write it down. I mean, there's no right or wrong, you guys. You can do whatever you want. But I like pen to paper too. And it feels like official. It feels like, this promise to yourself. It's so cool. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's talk about this because I can start to hear the mamas out there being like, my mornings are crazy. Like actually, you guys this morning, I'm like literally leading like a breath practice, like just a couple deep breaths, and my dog literally like starts to throw up on the couch on the brand new pillow, and I'm like, oh my God, I like freaking out and like throwing the dog outside while I'm leading this. Which you guys will see, like my kid, my daughter has a cold and she's like waking up and like breathing heavily, and I like want to yell at her for breathing too heavily on the meditation. But anyways, my point is, you will see that we're all busy. We all have messy mornings. We all have dogs throwing up and kids that are not packing their backpacks and whatever. So I just wonder what would you guys offer to the mama that is like, I'm too busy. My mornings are too chaotic. It's too crazy. What would you offer to them knowing what you know now? What do you got, Blair?
So for me, with the 1-year-old, it's a little bit unpredictable what time he wakes up in the morning. So what I do is I have scheduled, not scheduled, but like I have planned for like a time that I do my journaling, and I timed it, by the way. It takes me 8 minutes. So I'm like, okay,
Oh,
cool. So I
great.
I have a time that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wake up like 10 minutes before I think the baby's gonna wake up. Sometimes he wakes up early, so then I have a backup time. I'm like, okay, when I'm on the bus to work, I'll do my journaling. And then
Mm,
even if that doesn't happen, because I didn't have time to do my makeup, so I do my makeup on the bus. So then when I get to work before all my meetings start, I do that. Or on the weekend, I actually one time did it in the afternoon when the baby was napping, because it still helps me because we were going to go
yeah.
to this event. If I hadn't journaled, my like I wouldn't be present there, but I journal. I was like, oh, this is what I want to get out of it. I want to talk to all these people there, and I want to be curious about them. I don't want to just, well, I don't spiral into life. I still do it
Mm,
at some point, even if all of those other backup plans fail.
mm,
And it really takes 8 minutes. So I'm
mm.
always like, it just takes 8 minutes, just do it. So yeah, I think waking up early, like 10 minutes earlier, does it for me most of the time, but I have backups because I don't want my day to spiral just because I
Yeah.
didn't have.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, you have the time. I mean, this is like, you guys know, I probably talked about it before in the podcast, but it's like we're all on our phones for 8 minutes. Like, you have 8 minutes for you. Like, give yourself that time back instead of, big time adulting on Instagram, which, by the way, I love her account. But, anyways, Kelly, go ahead.
Yeah, so the live calls take place right as my boys are finishing getting ready to go to school and actually walking out the door to the bus. And I don't know about your kids, but every morning is like the first time we've ever gotten ready for school. And so making the live calls just is always not, it's usually not in the cards for me if I want my children to go to school in a timely manner. And so, but I usually just listen to the recorded call, and I'm usually just a day behind, but it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Not like I have to listen to that specific day to get something out of it. And so my plan is usually as soon as they walk out the door, I come back to my desk and I hit play on the recording from the previous day.
Mm,
And so I would also offer that, yes, this is going to take 8 minutes, like Blair said, or maybe 10 to 15. But I think the time you get back or the time that you create by
mm,
being more intentional with your schedule and your time as a result of taking just those few minutes to kind of map out what you want for yourself, it's gonna come back to you in spades. It's gonna save you way more time than it takes to actually do it.
yeah, that's so right. So right on. I love that. All right, you guys, next question. What surprised you most about the Free the Moms morning magic ritual? Maybe something like that you didn't expect to love, or just something that was kind of fun and unexpected. Tori.
I think I was most surprised by I'm one of those that like I like the idea of meditating. I just have a hard time committing to the practice and like fully relaxing and implementing it into my life. So I think that's what surprised me the most is the simplicity
Mm,
and regularity of the meditation. I loved the quotes that you read at the end. I was always like that whatever one you read like spoke to me every day so far. So
mm,
I think I was most surprised that like I easily allowed myself to drop into that. I've tried
mm,
other things before. I've tried the calm app first thing in the morning. I've tried, like sitting in silence, in front of like the, window that looks out to the backyard and like, get the vitamin D, all the things. I feel like I've tried.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
And that's why I made it like this, because that's why I don't even want to, I'm not getting you in trouble, but like, that's why I'm like, I don't even know if I want to call it meditation, because I think so many of us have been turned off by like traditional meditation or like whatever. Nothing wrong with the comment, nothing wrong with these things, but it's just, I don't know, as somebody who's like been allergic a little bit to some of the traditional practices, it's like, that's why Courtney Coates was like, maybe we call it like grounding, or maybe we call it like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think so too, because I think it sometimes can be intimidating or off-putting to those of us like, I don't know if I want to go inward. I don't know, but it's accessible, and it just feels very approachable. So I think that's what I was most surprised by. And then what is it, like about 8 minutes, 7 minutes that we journal? It's like, okay, this is just, it feels like it's all boxed up very in a way that is accessible and easy to digest, So that's really what surprised me the most. I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
I know, I'm like, Tori, you're doing this. Let's go.
And I was like, I will. And I am like totally like skeptic, now converted. So here I am.
love it. So good. I love that. So the thing that surprised me was when I do that tiny meditation and I kind of like calm down my mind and then I start writing, I realize like I really have the answers to everything. And because usually my mind is just so busy and like it loves to say, like you say this all the time, Laura, that like you're just like, I don't know, like this thing is happening to me and like I don't know why. I don't know. And when you have that kind of like open headspace and you start writing, you realize, oh, I know why this is happening. And some examples is like, why did I just snap last night at this one thing? Right? Why? I don't know. But then if I write it down, like, oh, this was happening. This is what. And then I know how to fix it. Or, oh, I don't know why my weight is going up. I'm following my protocol. But then when you write down, like, oh, I was eating those almonds last night mindlessly. So, yeah, I guess that's the surprise, is that I have all the answers.
Oh, mic drop. We could just end the episode now. That is like what I need all of the moms to know, all of the women to know. Like, and this is a bit of a tangent, but part of my journey recently is, and Tori mentioned it earlier too, like I have had a habit of outsourcing my own inner knowing. And so practicing asking myself and trusting the answers that come. It's like, it can make me cry, Blair. That's so awesome. Yeah, that's so cool. Kelly, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I think what has surprised me the most about our journaling practice in general is that we take the time every day to celebrate or to identify something that we're proud of. Because I think as moms, we can be really hard on ourselves. And I also think, in the world we live in, there's this idea of like more, go, go, go. And it's really, I think, been eye-opening to me to take a look and say, oh, I actually, did do this thing, or this thing is going really well for me right now. And it really just kind of flips the script on what I think otherwise could be like a frantic time of the day in the morning where you think, oh gosh, like I got to get all this stuff done. It's nice to just take a hot second and say, here's some things that are going well.
Yeah. Yeah. And it helps you to reprogram your brain, right? Like, I don't know the exact number. I don't know if anyone knows, but we have 60,000-ish thoughts a day. And unless we get intentional, they will run our life. And the majority of those thoughts are negative because we come with it. Your brain's not doing anything wrong or bad. It's just that our brains come right out of the box programmed with a bias for the negative, because that's what helped keep us alive. That's what evolved us to get us here, and into 2025. It's just, we have to now upgrade our brains by thinking on purpose. And no one taught us how to think. And this practice really will help you with all of that. That's so great. I love that, Kelly. Okay, let's talk about, this is a fun question. What is one of your favorite prompts from the journal? So you guys, inside the journal, there's all these prompts that I give to you. And like, what's kind of fun is I have been journaling for forever, for the longest time. And I like study, I order all the journals, I study all the questions, and I like practice answering all different types of prompts over certain periods of time, months and months, or usually typically however long the journals are. And this journal is really like a compilation of all of my favorite, most powerful, most impactful questions. So I'm curious for you guys, what question do you like right now inside the journal? What prompt do you like the most? Blair.
I have a favorite that I thought was genius. So the question is something, I think it's something like, what would have to happen today to make it amazing? Something that's in your control. Because it reminds me that my day, for it to be awesome, like it's just in my control. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I hope these people do this thing, or I hope like that thing doesn't suck. And it's just so like it gives me the opportunity to pick something that makes my day good, that is in my, it's just such a crazy reminder. And
That's so funny because that question went in at the last minute. That it was
it's so
already sent
genius.
to like to the printer people, and my girlfriend was like, "You want to know the best prompt you ever gave me was that prompt," and I was like, "Oh, we got to put that in there then." So I love that. That's so
Yeah,
good.
because I'm always like, I mean, maybe other people are like this. I'm always like, oh, I really like hope and pray like this thing happens for me, versus like, okay, if that didn't happen, like how else can I make my day good?
Well, that goes back to like insourcing versus outsourcing, right? Like we're hoping and praying that everybody like behaves perfectly. We're hoping that we can control all the uncontrollables, and then we're like a little anxious because we're like, I hope everybody behaves. And if they don't, like my happiness is on the line here. Like my peace is on the line. No, it's not. It's in your control. So good. Callie, were you going to say something?
Yeah. And I think along with those lines, I love the question, who do I want to be today? Because, like Blair said, it reminds me that I have control over that. And that is entirely up to me. And so that's just a good reminder.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that question too. That's one of my faves. What about you, Tori?
So I actually have been using, this is helpful, may or may not be helpful, but I use our old journal during this practice. So, which for no reason other than it sits right there. And I was like, okay, well, I'm kind of in this groove. But I will say that I think that the I am and the mantra is forever like my favorite in all of the journals that I've done with you. And I don't know if it's included in this one, but I'm sure that some variation of it is.
Yeah.
Because again, I think going back to what Blair said and what we keep talking about is when we look inward and we can, like, that's what this whole practice has been about for me, is really going back to my inner knowing. And so I am insourcing a lot. I am, calm. I'm at ease, like just that of all the planning that I do in the morning. And I am actually going to get this journal because I really like the new questions and they're so, concise and targeted. But just for those that I think maybe speaking to, you don't actually have to just follow it in this one textbook scripted way. I think that that's something that, can be available to everybody, is that approach it the way that it works for you and don't overthink it. And I think that's my biggest takeaways from working with you, is that thinking outside the box. I have perfectionism tendencies too. And then just looking at being flexible to look at things differently. So I really just use one of my old journals and I kind of go off of what the meditation is and the prompt for the day, and then kind of freeform from there.
Well, I love that you brought that up because as we're talking, that this has come up in this conversation. It's like that's really my goal. Like prompts are great, but you'll see inside. This happens inside the Yummy Mummy a lot. Like people will sort of like edit the journal. They'll like add their own prompts, delete some, and like that's what I just use the journal I give you forever and ever, or let it evolve and let yourself add and delete. And it's like, there's no right or wrong. It's just what works for you. And that is, it's the best way to live. There's no one size fits all. So, okay, you guys also really liked the question of how has your home life and your family, your relationships changed because of this? And if you have any little antidotes or stories that you want to share, I would just love to hear those because, I always am saying, if you don't feel good in your body, let's get you signed up for the Yummy Bubby experience so you can feel good in your body because you live in your body every day, all day. And you live in your home and with your families every day, all day. So let's get you feeling good inside that container too. So let's hear a little bit about that. Blair, you want to go first on this one?
Yeah, sure. I was just waiting to see. So for me, I can give you an example. So I really like going out to dinner with my husband. And now that we have the 1-year-old, it's just always been so hectic and so stressful. And I just come home from it just drained and like no joy. And it actually ruins the rest of my night too. Like when the baby goes to sleep, like I just leave me alone. I'm miserable. But with the journaling practice and setting the intention of like, how do I want this little dinner out to go? And what are the things I'm willing to let go of? What are the things that I know triggers me? So now when I go out, I have that 75% expectation of like, oh, maybe the baby won't eat. Maybe he's gonna scream and he's gonna throw things, and I'm just gonna sit here and eat and not get triggered. Like, this is what I want. And I don't expect it to go a different, like, this is the normal. Like, there's nothing wrong with this, right? So then I actually enjoy my dinner, and then I come home and I enjoy the rest of my night with my husband, and we might actually have like funny stories about what the baby did, So it just completely changes everything. And it's really one of the things I learned in coaching with you, Laura, is that you can change your mindset and perspective about everything. You don't need to change what's happening. You just change how you look at it, and it's like night and day. So that's how kind of my home life and relationship kind of like, it's just
I
like
love you
a
painted
180.
Yeah, you painted that picture so beautifully. I could like see you guys.
Yeah, I mean, that was my struggle. It's like I want to enjoy a freaking dinner out,
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I love that. So good, Blair. Tori.
I think that the practice of giving myself so much grace has made me become more of a patient person. And not that I was hurried or I was impatient, but what I've noticed over the course of the last month or so is I'm patient. I'm just more patient with my kids. I'm more patient with my husband. I'm more patient with myself. That I'm like, things don't have to happen yesterday. Things will unfold the way that they're meant to. So, like I was saying, with just these busy schedules, like I feel like I think through it, and then I appreciate one, having a very full life, and then two, I approach kind of the scheduling with my husband with a little bit more grace and ease than I might have otherwise done it, because I've given myself a lot of space and grace and, less judgment than maybe I did before. So I think that's really like how my relationship with others have changed, and certainly with myself.
I think that's so cool. And I wonder for you, Tori, if it's true, because it's true for me. Like when I feel patient and I like show up patient, like I get really, I get really proud of myself because I'm naturally my default is not patient. But when I'm patient, I just feel like, yes, like I was able to show up how I wanted to. And like, that just brings such a feeling of pride, because sometimes in the moment, I don't want to feel patient. Feeling patient inside my body, I don't love feeling patient, right? Like I have to take a couple deep breaths and remind myself. But then on the other side of it, it's like, yes, I did it. I didn't bite my son's head off by screaming at him for not, whatever, putting his shoes on or whatever it is.
gold star. It's like the gold
Yes.
star moment. You know, you're like,
Yes.
I did it. Even though I wouldn't describe you as impatient, but I think we all have those tendencies where we're like, we want the thing yesterday, or we want XYZ to have happened already in our, instant gratification world that we live in. So I do think that, yes, it's when we can slow down, recognize that we, did insert some patience in different places. I think that for me was like, oh, wow, I did need this opportunity to slow down,
Yeah, totally. So good. Okay, let's end you guys with, we kind of started with this, but if you had to pick just 2 words from blank to blank, like Courtney, she emailed me and she's like, or maybe it was Tara, but she's like, I went from overwhelmed to chill. This practice has made you go from what to what. And if you need a moment or whatever to think about it, it's totally fine. But let's like end with a little lightning round on that. So we'll just go boppity boop, person to person. Kelly looks ready.
I think I would say I went from frantic to focused.
Oh, I love it. And you know I love a good alliteration, so I'm obsessed with that. Blair, what do you got?
I went from spiraling to present and intentional.
Yeah. I can like feel that in your energy too. It's so cool. It's like
Thank you.
palpable. You're welcome. Tori.
I would say I went from outward to inward.
Okay. That's the episode, you guys. I'm dying to hear what you guys got out of this. Send me an email, send me a DM, send me a text. You guys know I have like a text number. You guys can text me and I can text you back. It's so fun. Text me VIP if you want to get on that VIP text list. Let us know what resonated. You can DM me on Instagram at Laura Conley Coaching. And then if you want to get into this Free the Moms membership, where we are going to be doing the morning magic ritual Monday through Friday, every day, live together or on demand. It's either one. You can do it like Kelly does it on demand, or you can do like Tori and Blair do it. They come live. It's totally up to you. There's going to be a lot of other awesome things inside the membership, like coaching and masterclasses, like a private community, which really, like, if you're in my world, it becomes a sisterhood. There's going to be so much stuff, so much fun, so much depth. So go to lauraconley.com/VIP, get your booty on that VIP text list so that we can text you when doors open, so that you can get the founders rate and all the fun bonuses. I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for coming on the podcast and helping us to free the moms. I just love you guys so much. So thank you. I love you. Okay. Bye, everybody. I hope you guys have the best week ever. Ciao, ciao. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go because I know a lot of us have hard stops. So
That was so
you.
fun.
That was
Thank you.
so
Thanks,
fun.
Laura.
You guys like literally crushed it. That was so freaking good. I'm so impressed.
Well, I like how everybody kind of had a different perspective too. I feel like you got a good balance of like whys and whats.
Yeah, it was amazing. Okay.
So cool to meet you guys, Tori.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Blair. Good to see you, Kelly.